Yo, people always ask me what kind of frames I'm rocking. I've been rocking Caddis for a couple years. They make amazing progressive readers, which I wear. Also, they make sunglass readers, anti-glare, anti-smudge coating, anti-scratch, and anti-aging. That's why I look mad young when I wear them. I'm just kidding. But they make amazing frames. Caddis, so stoked to have you guys part of the podcast. You can go to caddislife.com/Toby10 and get $10 off your first purchase. Stoked. Thank you, Caddis. Welcome to the fam. Yo, Liquid Death, thank you so much for hydrating all my guests, taking care of me and my family and my friends. Love your water, love your brand, love what you stand for, love what you give back to the community. If you want to learn more about Liquid Death and how it started, listen to episode 115 with the co-founder, owner, and creator of Liquid Death, Mike Cesario. Just a punk rock skateboarding kid from Delaware with a dream. It's an incredible story, incredible journey. They have now blessed me with my own code. So if you go liquiddeath.com/Toby, you get free shipping on any items you order from liquiddeath.com. Thank you so much, Liquid Death. Death to plastic, murder your thirst, stay hydrated. You know H2O saves lives. Microphone check. Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. I have a very special guest in front of me. It's my first time actually doing a one-on-one in a while because Derek's on tour, separate tour right now. But please welcome to the podcast, Wes Eisold. I said it right.
Thank you.
Eisold.
Thank you.
What is that last name anyway? What is that? What are you?
It's very Kraut.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that name though.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Stoked to have you.
Yeah.
I mean, we met many times in the past, probably through the scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Seen you a bunch of times. Our bands probably played together at some point. But it's great to have you. We just connected a couple weeks ago singing backup song on the Lamb of God record. That was cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was very interesting because usually the gang vocals, it's like a bunch of people surrounding one microphone yelling, and we pretty much just yelled into the ceiling. We're all spread out. It was really interesting.
Yeah, it was like a field recording of gang vocals. It was cool. You know?
It was cool.
Yeah.
And it was so fast too.
Yeah, and usually these things are just like you're just suffering through someone ruining it every time.
One person's off.
Yeah.
And then you have to
this
keep
is pretty
redoing
pro.
it.
Yeah.
And then we just talked about coffee for a second because people listen to the podcast. They know I quit this shit a year ago, and it was no problem. And then I just been on it for 2 days, and it just really fucked my stomach up today. But then I read different things, how coffee is really good for you. It's good for your brain. And you came here with a coffee, iced coffee, right?
Yeah, I do think coffee is evil, and I suffer with it. But
it's just black coffee for you.
Just black coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the oat milk. I like stuff like that. My son drinks straight black like that. But there's got to be something good for it. I think because when you don't do it and you do a lot, you get headaches and shit like that. Yeah,
so I have to monitor it, or otherwise I'm, taking a leave at night or something. But, I was saying I wake up at 4 a.m., so I've already had a coffee. I'm shot by noon. I've been up for 8 hours. So I just wanted to not be just a deadbeat today.
And why 4 a.m.? That's your schedule of life?
It's just, I go off and on of waking up early, but like I like waking up at 4 because the city's quiet. I like to write before, my son wakes up.
Okay.
So I have a window of 4 hours. I can sit in this little garden. There's no sirens. There's no trash trucks or gardeners or all this mayhem. It's just a few minutes of peace where you can actually be in Los Angeles and not hear anything.
It's pretty amazing, man.
And, it's priceless.
Yeah. So you do a lot of writing.
Yeah. I usually wake up and make a coffee and write from about 4 to 8 every day.
Is that just like lyrics or poetry? You write poetry, obviously.
Yeah, right. So both, they
Yeah.
kind of just take different forms. Who knows what will turn into, but
just your thoughts or whatever, kind of like journaling in a sense, or?
Yeah, I guess ultimately it's for poems or lyrics, and
Okay.
it's just building an arsenal. I was just finishing a book this morning, so
okay.
I was just rereading it and changing things, and
And how many books do you have out now?
I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah.
I looked at it as a lot of books. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of them are with other people. It's not just my own thing.
Yeah.
Different projects.
And were you always into writing, even as a kid?
I was. I just had a traumatic childhood, as a lot of people who end up in music did. And one of the earliest ways I was able to sort of communicate was through writing. I didn't talk to people. I still don't really talk.
It's very therapeutic.
Yeah. You just weird notebook shit, fold it up, put in some box somewhere, and burn it later. Yeah.
So you started doing that like what, super young, like teenager years?
Oh, elementary school.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where were you born? Were you born in Massachusetts?
No, I was born in Virginia Beach.
Dang, I didn't know that.
I'm a Navy brat. So
wow, okay, so you moved around a bunch.
Yeah.
Wow, Virginia Beach. I love Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Some good shows back there.
Yeah. I mean, I was there elementary school primarily, like 1st through 5th grade.
Okay.
So, I didn't have a real life there.
Yeah. So I'll push you forward. And so where'd you go after that? Did you go to Massachusetts after that?
No, Massachusetts is actually just a brief pit stop in my life.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, I moved around a lot. I went to like 6 different kindergartens. And
wow.
Like I mentioned, I lived in Newport for a bit. That was like a few months or something.
Yeah.
I moved to California. I moved back to Virginia Beach. Moved to Pennsylvania.
And you have siblings too?
I have a younger sister. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just moved all around. You really went one place at one time. So that's kind of hard to make friends, all that stuff, everything.
The worst. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just try even settling in or anything. So what's the longest place you lived as a kid?
Oh my God. It's somewhere for 1.5 years or 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy life, man.
Yeah.
And so where were you in high school then?
I started high school in Germany, in Stuttgart.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I went to 9th and 10th grade in Germany. And so that was cool. I was living in a European city. And
sick.
But then I moved to like a cornfield in Maine for 11th and 12th grade.
Fuck,
which was, that was a brutal move.
That sounds brutal.
But by that point in my life, I was already so obsessed with like punk and hardcore that I was psyched to be within a couple hour drive of Boston.
Yeah. So were you and your sister into the same music? What was your first exposure to punk rock? What was that?
Oh, these things are so like definition dependent.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess.
Were you a skateboarder?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I grew up in Virginia Beach. Skateboarding was a thing there.
Totally.
Surfing,
all that.
Surfing. There was, I got into that early. There were skate parks around. I'd go watch people skate.
Yeah.
I was young, but I had like my first deck in elementary school.
Do you remember your first deck?
Well, it was a Nash, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then
Nash.
like I didn't get a real deck until it was probably in like 6th or 7th grade because like we couldn't afford it. You know?
They were expensive back then for sure. Even $50 expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the Nash boards. Wow.
Yeah. Like green Nash. Yeah. Yeah.
And then what was your first official deck? It had to be like a Apollo Pro or something, or no?
I had like my friend gave me a broken like Powell deck.
Sick.
And then and then probably not till like 8th or 9th grade I got my first real deck. And it was like the first Plan B deck. And then
awesome.
Had stuff after that. But
were you like a street skater or like we just like cruising around?
I was a street skater. Yeah, I wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But I did it daily.
Okay, yeah.
Like my deck was in my locker.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That becomes like your best friend growing up for me too. I was like very, I wasn't really hanging out with girls. I was just skateboarding. People made fun of me. So I was going to take my skateboard to the prom. That's all I cared about was skateboarding. Even if I couldn't land a trick, it was just every day I was just all about it.
Yeah, girls were not an option. Yeah.
So that skateboarding pretty much, was like my best friend.
And such a gateway to life,
Everything.
Yeah.
And then back then, most of the videos were all like punk rock soundtracks anyway.
Yeah.
It all kind of went together, right?
Yeah. So I guess if I had to say my first punk exposure, it was probably like a Dead Kennedys tape in 5th or 6th grade. Like someone let me borrow Give Me Convenience. And
wow.
That was that,
Yeah. And Dead Kennedys, man. I knew nothing about politics. I knew nothing about who Jerry Brown was, any of this stuff. And just their albums, their lyrics, everything was just so ahead of its time and still so relevant now.
Still so relevant.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like they predicted the future.
Yeah.
Dead Kennedys is definitely Circle Jerks, all that stuff. Sex Pistols, the first kind of introduction, right?
Yeah, gateway drugs. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so how were you in high school?
In high school, I kept to myself. I skated. I was depressed and miserable because I moved all the time and had no friends. So music was like my friend. I spent a lot of time in the nurse's office faking like I was sick, laying on my back just to listen to music with headphones on, and didn't go to class that much. Yeah.
So your grades were just shit.
My grades were fine.
Okay.
It was just.
You was bored and
so bored, not into it. I just found it just so.
So no sports, none of that shit.
I played soccer a lot.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't someone who was. I didn't have friends on the team, but I played soccer my whole life.
You were a total black sheep.
Yeah, well, because I was born with one hand. My parents got me into soccer when I was a kid. And I played actually up until college.
Okay.
And quit to be in a band.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was like what I did. I played on a team in Germany. I went to different European cities to play soccer. And
so you might have thought about that as a profession at one point? You wanted to do it or no?
No, it was just something I could do and was good at, but it was music first, and that just wasn't enough of a fulfillment in life until it became one,
Yeah. So were you in any bands in high school?
Not real bands. In Germany, I had I lived on these small military bases, so it was just like there's a guy in a Biohazard shirt and a guy in a Megadeth shirt, and so like whoever could play an instrument and was just down to fuck around, that's who. So we had a few times with friends in Germany going to a practice space and just playing like Misfits and Sex Pistols covers and stuff like that. And then when I moved to Maine, I tried doing a couple similar type bands. It didn't happen. And really American Nightmare was the first band I ever did. Yeah.
Damn. And did you go to shows in Germany and stuff or no?
I did.
Like American bands that came through, you saw them as well probably back then?
I saw Fugazi in Germany.
Wow.
I saw mostly like sort of post-hardcore indie shows. Like, I saw like Lemonheads and, bands like this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So Maine, that's pretty close to Boston. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
I was born in Taunton, Mass. Yeah.
Maine, it's not that bad. There you go.
So when you get to Maine, you start really going to more shows in Boston area. Start taking the road trips and stuff.
Yeah. So I moved to Maine, and it's probably 95 or something. Shortly after moving there, like I think the first show I went to see was Sheer Terror, and then I got lucky because the town I was living in was a little north of Portland. And there were some people who were still hanging around that town who were involved with music and in bands. And they, this one guy with Ian McFarlane, who he lived in the town I lived in. And
awesome.
I found him quick, thank God. And he was in a band, and, he'd take me to shows. And he was really active in bringing bands to Portland. So there was like a lot of rad shows due to him and the band he was in.
That's cool.
Otherwise it was like nothing happening.
Yeah. We definitely played shows in Maine, but it definitely was... Not many times, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there was a scene there though, for sure.
There was, yeah. It probably still is.
Shout out to Cool Hand, they're from there, Maine.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, and Ian McFarlane, for the people listening, he did the Godfather as a hardcore documentary, which is incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Amazing. And, he was in a band there called Polyglot that played a lot locally, and then he joined Hatebreed for a little bit.
That's right.
And then Blood for Blood,
Wow. Okay, so American Nightmare. So you're out of high school for that, right?
I'm out of high school.
And what's your job? Like, what are your goals at that point?
I'm fake going to college,
What college?
I was living in Portland, going to University of Southern Maine. But, I wasn't going anywhere. I was sitting in my room playing video games and listening to music. And
did you have a major at all? Anything you wanted to do there? Just nothing?
Undeclared.
Okay.
I'm not much of a subscriber to this day to anything. So, yeah.
So you're just going to college and then going to shows and stuff like that. And then American Nightmare, how's that start for you?
So there was this guy that I started the band with. He was living in Maine, and he wasn't like a hardcore person. He was just he was just like this guitarist. Yeah. And this guy Ian Larrabee,
I know him too. Yeah.
Got this dude to play in 10 Yard Fight because they needed a guitar player. And this guy was a good guitar player. That didn't last long. Like a year or so, they broke up. We started a band. Yeah,
you were like kind of a roadie for 10 Yard Fight, right?
I was for a tour, a summer. It was fun.
What was your actual job? You actual roadie, just a friend that hung out with him?
Mosher.
Okay. Yeah. That was me too. Was sick of it all. I was a terrible roadie. I was always diving in shit, dancing.
Yeah. Official title.
Okay, that was official Mosher. So it was obviously it was Give Up the Ghost first. Correct.
It was American Nightmare first.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Then Sued, then Give Up the Ghost. Yeah.
Why Sued? Because it was another band?
There was like this like just miserable bar rock band in Philadelphia called that, and
wow.
This band, my American Nightmare were mostly popular in Boston and Philly, and I think it just got to them. It stressed them out that there was this presence with this other band. Like, who are these kids
actually playing shows? And
so this, I think from what I understand, there was a guy in the band who was like some flunky at some shit law firm, and they just like got a free letter, and it scared us as 21-year-old kids.
Of course.
Now I'd be like, fuck off. But
Damn.
Yeah. So we got sued and
Was it cease and desist or actually sued?
So we didn't get sued. We got cease and desist.
That's scary.
It was scary, but then, it became this problematic thing because, again, we're dealing with like being young and shitty lawyers. And for some reason, we had to let them know, as far as I remember, what our new name was going to be. So we tried variations of that name and they just kept shooting them down, which is not like real.
What was one of the variations?
Well, it was American Nothing or just AN and stuff like that. And,
Okay.
So
Give Up the Ghost is cool though. It's a cool name too.
Thanks.
It's cool.
That was going to be like a record title, and we had this list of names, and they all kind of sucked. And then it's hard to rebrand yourself.
Yeah, totally.
We were like on fire at the time.
So how'd you get your name back? Like how long did that last? You have to have a different name.
When the band got back together and started playing shows again, I just looked up to see if the other one still existed. It expired. It took a few years to do all this paperwork and legalities, and eventually passed.
Yeah. Because that's true. Like if you have a trademark, it only lasts a certain amount of years for different things, right?
Sometimes so you have to keep up on it.
Yeah. Someone can just come in and take it if it just expires for like even 2 days or something.
Yeah. And then you have to buy it back from them, and it's a headache. It's a scam. It's all a scam.
Yeah.
Life is a scam. That's another scam. It's just a scam.
So was that 1998, right? For American Nightmare?
We started in 99. I think played our first show early 2000. Yeah. 98, I was probably on tour with 10 Yard Fight then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched some videos. Dan Smith, shout out to Dan Smith, sent me some videos of you guys at different festivals, different shows. And I definitely seen you guys before, but it's just recapping this week, watching like amazing energy, amazing frontman, and just the energy was awesome. What was like what's a major inspiration for American Nightmare sound-wise or music-wise?
Well, sound-wise, we were definitely, it was still of Boston hardcore.
Yeah,
so, we're coming out after these bands like 10 Yard Fight and In My Eyes, but we're also, what was popular there was just sort of like positive, like revival, youth crew, straight edge hardcore. But we were of that. It was really cliquey,
Yeah.
So like, but we were also friends with like Blood for Blood and people in other sort of band, like, skinhead bands and stuff like that. So we didn't want to be just like a straight edge band from Boston. So, which was actually hard to believe, controversial at the time in our cliquey shit minuscule world,
Yeah.
So I don't know, I was definitely into still referencing bands I grew up on, like Black Flag and Negative Approach, but also we liked the Smiths and,
other influences for sure. You can see that and hear that, and just lyrically way different than the other bands were sounding or even singing about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I mentioned, it seemed different at the time, but the first show I saw when I got back to the States was Sheer Terror, and then Blood for Blood, and I like these sort of like I related to these people's lyrics. And so it wasn't that far from that. It just played to more like faster hardcore. Wasn't really happening, so it seemed more different. Yeah,
but I mean, American Nightmare. Did you guys? I just remember American Nightmare being like a massive band. Like it just really just blew up. It blew up fast.
It was fast. Yeah. It went from nothing to 6 months later. We were touring and headlining shows, and a couple hundred people would show up, and you just went from there.
And then Bridge 9 put about a bunch of the EPs out and stuff at first.
Chris was my roommate.
That's what he was telling me.
And that was a fun time, and
he told me a story the other day. But you guys, I could take it off if you don't like, but you guys dressed up like sailors because it was like this sailor thing, like it was a tall ship parade, and you guys went out dressed as sailors, and going to nightclubs and shit, just like vibing, like everybody was dressed like that. You guys just said, "Fuck, we're gonna dress like that and go out and fucking."
We were just, no cares in the world.
I know, I love that.
Out to destroy and fuck things up, and then so we, every year in Boston, all these sailors come into port and dress up, and they go out.
Tall ships or something.
Tall ships, they try to go get laid, and that's a thing, and then we show up with these bootleg like surplus store sailor costumes, and all of a sudden girls are talking to us, and then the sailor was getting pissed off. We had to split fast.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's like a real thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was Chris was fun to live with. He hustled.
You did, man.
Yeah,
you guys would sell the Yankee Suck shirts and shit like that.
I did that. I was the bat holder. So
I heard about that too.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Because it gets crazy out there selling like all that stuff, man, for sure.
Yeah, you know, like pre-surveillance life, you know, it was like, you know.
And everybody on their phones, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so it got gnarly a few times.
I think about that sometimes. Like, imagine if we had phones back then, like in those times in New York, Boston, all that, like crazy. It's scary, man.
Yeah, it was weird. I was remembering, actually, this show you guys played in Roxbury at some community center in Mission Hill. And there was a skirmish after the show.
Yeah, somebody said something about this the other day to me.
So
with my wife.
Yeah, yes. And then like this dude who ran the place, there's security, like local, like ex-prison, like Roxbury dudes.
Okay.
Like pushed a friend of mine, and I made the mistake of punching this guy in the mouth.
Wow.
And it didn't work.
It didn't faze him at all.
No, like
that was the same show.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Then after that so after that happened, you know, we squared off, and I was like, "This is gonna end bad." Fuck. He just decided I'm not gonna fuck with this. Just went to his car, got a gun out of his glove compartment, put it in his fanny pack, and came back for me.
Holy shit!
And I ran down the street out. Saw a car with 2 punk kids in it, said, "Open the fucking door, let me in." This guy's chasing me. Jumped in the car, and they drove me up Calumet to where I lived and just hid.
So the thing with my wife might have happened after that, because there was something about the merch and the table was at the end of the show or something.
That's where it was.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because somebody randomly texted me today, say, "Hey, I'm with a friend. I'm with somebody that knows you. They protected you. They had your wife's back at the Boston show." This was like 2 days ago.
That's crazy. Well, I'm the guy who punched the guy in the face.
Okay, the guy that was fucking with my wife.
Yeah,
because it
spilled from that to like someone being like, "What are you doing?"
Oh my god!
And then it came to like people I knew, and I was just like, "Fuck this guy."
Dude, thank you, man. I never knew that was you. That was
me.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Came to Tell Moon. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was like 98, probably. Yeah. Maybe 99.
So you were a scrapper. I heard you you were a scrapper too.
Yeah, well, I'm not proud of it.
No, I'm not saying. Yeah, but I got silly too when I was. Yeah.
What's that, man?
I got silly too when I was younger and living in New York and all that.
Yeah,
too.
it's just easy.
The people I was around too, though.
Yeah,
because you don't seem like a violent person or like a person.
No, I'm not.
And I wasn't either. But I moved to New York and I was around all these people who grew up in New York, and they took me under their wings, and I was like the new kid from out of town.
Yeah.
And I was like the sensitive posy kid, and I came met all these older peers.
I think it's the curse of being oversensitive, actually, and then you develop such a carelessness because you care so much that when someone tries you just snap, you know.
Max, Wes has told a story that a long time ago. Your mom had some beef in Boston at the end of the show, and the bouncer got punched in the face, and it was him who punched the bouncer in the face for Mama. Yeah, it's crazy. Nice tan. It was amazing. That's fucking cool, man. I had no idea that was you.
Yeah.
There was some great shows at those spots.
That show was amazing. Spots. Yeah.
Those DIY spots in Boston were awesome.
Yeah, all the church shows.
And even the Rat too.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of people who would show up for those shows was just unreal, you know.
It took us a long time to get love in Boston because the New York-Boston thing that was from generations before us. And just going to Boston, playing these shows. I remember Dropkicks opened up for us at the Rat.
Yeah.
And this crowd staring at us. Because we were more melodic and stuff, but it took a while to really get it in Boston. But once we got it, it was great.
Yeah, because I always saw you play great shows there. I remember seeing H2O at Lupo's in probably like 96 or something, maybe 95 even. It was it was early.
Yeah.
At like a Super Bowl, like AF headline where
I remember that one.
Right when they came back.
That was a great show.
That was a great show, yeah.
But originally going out there just on our own, it was just like...
Sure.
It's crazy. And I remember even playing there with Dropkicks and the whole crowd chanting, "Fuck the Yankees." At age 12, I was like, I don't even like sports. Like, what's up? That whole New York, fucking the Boston thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, you know, people just needed something to be mad about. So,
yeah.
You know.
Were you like a mad kid too? Like, were you like an angry kid once you got into the scene, or was that more when you were younger? When you got into the scene, were you more like, I don't know, blossomed to something?
I was for sure angry as a result of the sadness, essentially. But then, you know, I think just let out into the world. I didn't
through music. You could actually
through music, but I also didn't care. Like I didn't care about consequence or if I died. It was just like I'm going for it, you know. And then I think that's the energy that sort of translated into American Nightmare, and why I was just like, you know, I hardly sang live. I was just freaking out, you know.
Yeah.
But
it's super therapeutic, man. Just thinking about that, like just
it saves
growing
you
up and you're getting it out through music.
Yeah.
Have you ever went to therapy?
I've not successfully.
Me either. I never been. I feel like I needed to. I'd never been. I was like,
then, no way. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I write songs about stuff that I've been through. That's my therapy. But my wife's like, you should talk to somebody.
But anyway, I think exactly. And then, but I think violence like back then was just a result of having nowhere to channel frustration.
For sure.
So it's just like, it's pathetic essentially, and you're just freaking out and you got to get it out. And then, it was like always with some, I've been, when you're a kid and you're attacked by bullies your whole life. And then once you succumb that, when people test you, It's like,
I feel you, man.
And that's all it was. And it lasts a while. And then I think once American Nightmare came around, I had somewhere to channel that.
Yeah. And you also had a group of friends who like had your back. They were your family. It's like, hardcore scene's such a amazing place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can just be yourself and fucking express yourself. And I don't know, you also get, for me in New York, they had like that tough ball breaking love where they can make fun of you, but nobody else can. Like you're their boy, and they can give you that tough love and that tough skin.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, fuck bullies. That makes me sad. I can't. I'm just thinking about you growing up, and that's fucking.
Yeah, so that's psychologically where I'm coming from.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's something that even no matter how old you get, it's still, because I know a lot of people that have been through that shit growing up. It's still with you, even no matter how much you get it out or talk to somebody, but. I don't know. I feel like people love and appreciate your honesty, especially lyrics. People saying you're prolific with your lyrics and your poetry, and people had so much respect for just the way your band sounded, but also the lyrics were way deeper. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like we're straight edge, we're youth crew, we're posse, like all that stuff.
Which is
like,
cool.
It's cool. Yeah,
and it has its place.
Yeah.
I think for me, the times I felt happiness is when I'm searching for that strange, obscure sort of divinity that you can find when you write something that's so meaningful to you and it explains exactly how you feel without the monotony of having to talk in conversation. You're able to write down this otherworldly sort of deep-rooted sick emotion. When you find that, it's so rewarding and fulfilling that it's almost like a high that you keep striving for the rest of your life. That's why I'm writing it from 4 to 8 a.m. daily today.
Yeah.
When I get that, I don't care about anything else in the world. It's like a junkie, It's like when you get that fix, when you're successful, when you struggle with talking your whole life and you're able to enunciate exactly how you feel, that's worth it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Yeah. Just to really be able to do that and know that saved you in a sense, as far as who knows what direction your life could have went if you didn't find music or hardcore, all that stuff, just to get it out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, it's probably the same, but I never considered anything else. It was just like, that's what I'm into. It's all I'm focused on. It's the only thing that can even retain my attention for a second, totally. It's like, so.
Were you ever just a hardcore kid? That's all I listened to? And not open-minded to other things. It seems like you were open-minded to other types of music early on.
I got, my trajectory of getting into music was a strange path. I like the first shows I ever saw were like indie bands, basically.
Okay,
the first show I ever went to it was a weird bill, but it was like the Dead Milkmen headlined.
Dead Milkmen.
Totally. And then this like Boston sort of indie band called the Swirlies and this Pennsylvania band called the Lilies played. And, strange, but the Swirlies were on Tang Records.
Tang, yeah.
And I knew about major punk hardcore bands, but I actually got deeper into it through that label, finding out about like SSD and Slapshot and stuff like this.
Yeah.
It was like it's weird trajectory. So I never, prior to that, my favorite bands were like The Cure and Smiths growing up. That was like my first turn on.
That's awesome.
Super young. So
yeah,
I kind of went that route. And then as I found more hardcore, it just sort of fit how I was feeling as a teen in terms of being pissed. And, but I still always had this sort of affinity for this other music.
Yeah.
So
were you ever like a metal kid or into metal or hip hop?
Both of those I liked certain things about, but it was never like my thing.
Never connected to you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was never like a metalhead or just fully into hip hop.
Yeah.
So
fuck, man. So, was your first time going to Europe with American Nightmare? Was your first time leaving the country and stuff?
No, well, I lived.
Oh, you lived. I'm sorry. As with music though.
Music, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year was that? Is that late 90s or early 2000s?
Probably late 2000, maybe early 2001 we first went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's magical going to Europe for the first time.
It's a dream.
I know.
It's the dream, you know? Nothing else matters. You don't care that you're sleeping on like,
No, dude.
you don't care you're sleeping in some weird like World War II bunker, you know?
The squats with like the catering. I kind of miss that right now, actually.
Yeah.
I just would kill to be backstage right now somewhere in Europe, waiting 10 hours to play, eating a bunch of catering and a fucking, I don't know, just stuff that you can complain about sometimes. It's like, especially now for the past 2 years, it's like, fuck, I wish I could be there right now.
Yeah, it's strange. I feel like I've forgotten how to do a bunch of those stuff. You know, I have some shows coming up, and I'm trying to even remember how to play. It's just, you know, it's weird, and
it's so weird. When you were on tour with American Nightmare, did you have a job in between? You just straight up just playing music?
No, I would do weird scams, you know, and like not, you know, just like weird like side hustles.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, so, but not like a real job somewhere you're going back to. Just like
I had a couple brief, funny real jobs. Like my friend Jesse was saying for Right Brigade, him and I were hired to work at Victoria's Secret in the stock room at this mall in Boston, randomly through a mutual friend. And
wow.
We did that for a few months, and that mostly consisted of just hiding in like lingerie and sleeping in the back, and just, you know, then going on tour and quitting, you know, it's like jobs like that, you know.
Yes.
And then I sold t-shirts and stuff at Fenway, or got paid just to be like security there basically. And then, you know, but no real jobs. No, there was cool stuff then. Like you could do like a 2-week training period at a telemarketing place, knowing that you're going to bail in 2 weeks, but you get paid for it. So
telemarketing, that was a shit back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was the last real job you had before music really became your life, you think?
Gosh, I don't know.
Maybe one of those jobs.
Yeah, maybe one of those. I've been pretty...
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple things like that early 2000s, and then otherwise it's just been full on music. And those were all, you know, brief, a few months here and there just to pay rent while in between.
But once American Nightmare kicked off, you guys started, you like, this is all I want to do is this music. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like weird because growing up, you know, people are always asking you what you want to do, and I never had an answer. I think I was secretly knew that was it, but just never wanted to have someone tell me you couldn't do that, which I guess I imagined that's what would happen, you know?
And then why singing, you think? Did you play instruments before that?
Not really, because I'm limited, you know,
I
believed I was anyway. And so, you know, my parents were really supportive of me learning instruments, and they tried, but to not much avail, you know. I think, I had a couple piano lessons, and when it came time to play like the left-handed bass notes, there was like, well, we're done, you know. And then same thing with guitar, you know, I picked up guitar and loved the sound of it, but it was sort of, you know, stuck with single string, sort of noisy, nothing. And then, you know, and then singing came natural because I'd been writing, and you know.
Were your parents super supportive
of starting American Nightmare? Not necessarily. No, no, they were worried, you know. And then
they came and see you play.
No,
ever.
No.
Fuck.
Well, my mom saw me play finally with American Nightmare, and like 4 or 5 years ago, like I went and cried.
Okay.
You know.
Oh man.
Like worried for me. You know.
Worried?
Yeah, not tears, not tears of joy. You know. Yeah, no.
What?
No.
Were they scared of that music or something? Or no.
She just didn't like what I was saying. It made her feel sad as a parent that I have had these thoughts in my life. You know.
Yeah. As a parent, do you get that now?
For sure. Yeah.
Me too. I thought about that.
But it is productive ultimately, you know. And but I understand it. You don't want your kid sitting up there yelling about this stuff. So damn. My dad was a bit more sympathetic to it. I have a weird literary family background, you know. Okay. My great uncle wrote children's books.
Okay.
And then my dad wanted to his goal was to just drive around on a motorcycle and write poems and like play tennis. That's what he was into. So
that's nice. That's a good life.
You know, he was like, and then they found out they were having me. He went and joined the Navy. Okay. Immediately came home and told my mother that he had just joined the Navy. And a few years ago, he gave me for my birthday a stack of poems from the 60s and 70s that he wrote.
Wow, man.
Which I thought maybe existed, but he had never shared them with me, and they're fucking incredible.
That's amazing.
You know, like
that's where it comes from.
For sure.
That's
so,
cool.
and his parents were teachers, and the poem's really cool. They're about, just like early being a sailor for the first time.
Yeah.
So he was a bit more sympathetic, knew what I was going for, and they'll come see Cold Cave play. Like, they've flown to Europe before to see me. And,
nice. You think they read your lyrics? They read your lyrics?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, man.
Yeah.
To have that support system, and also I'm sure like having it like raising you and you knowing the shit you went through. Did you talk to them growing up about shit happening in school? Of course not. Your kids don't do that.
No. I mean,
I want our kids. I mean, not my kid's 19 now, but
yeah, I want that too. It's like I want them to be able to say anything. I also feel it's a generational thing, because I remember, I don't know if you went through this, but I remember trying to communicate what I was going through and just kind of bombing and be like, okay.
It was hard for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a lot older than you, but yeah, back then I do remember trying to. Well, for me, I just said. My thing was my dad dying at 3, then my mom raising 3 boys, and then I had that crazy, probably sadness and denial, and not really having any sort of because we didn't go to the funeral with any of that stuff. So,
wow, right.
So you know what I mean. So that closure,
yeah.
So I definitely have dad issues, and then becoming a dad, being so emotional, and dealing with all that shit. And
did you ever think you'd be a dad?
Not really, man.
Yeah, I never. I would see children on the street and like repel and disgust, Or like I used to feel nauseous seeing like 2 parents and the children looked like them. I'd be like, I hate life. It's so, it's disgusting. Damn. Yeah. But now I'm like,
now you're dad.
So fulfilling. Yeah.
How old is your son?
6.
It's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
It's such life changing, right?
Yeah, changing.
Just emotion, just how you see the world. Yeah. All that.
Yeah. And the scariest part for me is how time changes.
How fast it goes by.
Yeah, because you just linger on with nothing going on, and it's like I don't even know how I used to spend my time, and now all of a sudden 6 years have flown by in a flash, and sure.
Yeah, so when you don't have kids, it seems like it goes by slower, right? Then you have kids, and then as you get older, and your kids get older, I see like, not to be morbid, but I see my end game. Like I'm gonna be 52, and it's like this kid's 19. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm not gonna be here forever to be with him or wherever I go, up or down, whatever that is. That's a whole other story. If I'm going to be watching over seeing him after, it's like...
Yeah,
it's fucking depressing sometimes. Yeah.
It is. It's both. I think it's the double-edged sword. It's depressing. It's also such a gift,
I know. And then bullying that we were just talking about is that happened to my son where somebody bullied him in school and he didn't want us to call the teacher or call... He was honest about what happened. But if we call the school, he's a snitch and then they'll really get him.
Yep.
So that's the thing that's... stressful as a parent, because then you finally have the open communication that you may have not had when you were a kid, but then they tell you stuff and you can't do shit about it because you're actually going to get them, they're going to get hurt worse. It's fucked up.
I don't know how I would handle that.
I know. Like I wanted to go to school. My wife wanted to go to school. He's like, no. Like somebody ripped off his chain and stole his chain. His first chain he bought off of fucking Amazon. It was like a gold chain. And like, it was so sad. He called me from school. You're going to be mad. I'm like, I'm not mad. I feel bad for you. Like, but I can't do anything about it. And then kids getting not only bullied at school, is they're getting bullied on their phones 24 hours. They don't escape it. Before you can go home to your parents and go in your room, right? And like hide from it. But nobody was posting or DMing or
judging.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah. I mean, it's too much.
Scary for our kids.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, he's out of school now, but like, he's still on social media, but like in school and stuff, just learning all that stuff and having to like not trying to freak out and be overprotective and be supportive at the same time,
Yeah,
it's scary.
Trying to go backwards and get rid of like phone. I just think that's not where the magic happens,
Yeah.
It's not,
I know, and our kids, that's all this generation knows is social media and on the phones.
Yeah, it's like get off of these things. Go make
something.
Go make it. Then you can share it via there.
Yeah,
but that's not where it's made.
Or go outside. I mean, lucky he surfs and he skates. He didn't play video games. He's always out being active and stuff. But I don't know. Is your kid going to be homeschooled or go to school?
Yeah, he doesn't go to school.
Okay.
So I think if there's a method that we're doing, it's called unschooling, which is where you just don't do anything.
Okay.
And we haven't done that. So far, it's pretty miraculous. He can read and write, and we haven't taught him how to do any of this stuff. He just starts doing it. I don't know,
wow.
Just from watching movies or reading books or like putting stuff together, and they just start doing it.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So
there's no curriculum. There's like no things you do every morning.
There's no curriculum. No. He wakes up when he wants, when he wants breakfast. It could be 8, it could be 11, whatever. Just does his thing, you know. Like I go to bed, he stays up watching movies, like or reading or drawing or whatever, and you know.
That's insane. That's awesome. So a lot of people do that. That's like a thing.
I think it's a thing. I think around maybe in LA, it's a little more popular than other places. You know,
LA's different for
yeah. And then yeah.
Wow, man, that's cool.
Well, there's only 3. I think there's only 3 states in the country where you're allowed to not do anything, and I think it's California, I believe New York, and I want to say somewhere random like Kansas or something, where you don't have to. You have to file that you have to register with the state that you're a fake school, give it like some bullshit name, and then they stamp it, and like you're good, you know.
So you used to have conversations, talk about life, all that stuff. He has questions, just talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we hang out. I mean, he goes everywhere with us, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's a beautiful thing, like having one kid. Like not saying I mean, I wish I didn't have a second one, but like be able to travel and they adapt to your life. It's like people think I'm gonna be a parent, my life's gonna be over. No, it's not gonna be, because your kid's gonna adapt to your life. You know, we got to take my son on tour and stuff. And
exactly. Yeah.
See the world.
Did you just start bringing him right away?
Yeah. When he was like old enough to travel to Japan, when he was like fucking maybe 2 years old.
Yeah. Same with us. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like for my son growing up on the road, that's more experience that he would get just from school and books, you know, like just seeing the different cultures and stuff.
Yep.
And lucky to do that as well. You know, we're lucky to do that.
Definitely.
So he's been around tour with you everywhere and stuff, travels?
Everywhere since we started playing shows again, like 6 months, he started coming with us, you know.
Wow.
So, you know, he's been to Russia a few times, China, Japan, like, you know, all over the world.
And he's only 6. That's amazing, dude.
He's 6. Yeah. So it's weird now because since everything was shut down, you know, he's used to traveling. So from basically 4 to 6, he's been, this is boring. Let's go, you know.
That was my son. He'd been to Japan twice before. He was 9.
Right.
Went to Russia, did the overnight train.
Yeah.
That was so sick.
Yeah.
It's so cool we can do that.
It also changes the dynamic of traveling, and, you know, and your crew and everyone is just sort of, it's this weird peace offering to the stress where, you know, everyone can just sort of be mellow.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what's something fucked up? I might take up the pop, but I have to tell you is that my wife changed my son's age at one point so he could fly for free still.
Love it. Yep.
That's fucked up.
Because you don't have to provide anything really, right?
I think you did back then or something.
Right.
I don't know,
just
man.
like a piece of paper.
I'm sorry to all the airlines, but it was something my wife did. I didn't do it. I'm not saying I support it. All right, so American Nightmare. So
I get it. Yeah.
Everything's going awesome. You guys are killing it, and then you guys end in 2004.
Yeah.
And that was just a decision, like just to go try something different, or was it?
We were on tour. You know, I was burnt out.
Sure. You guys are grinding, dude, nonstop, right?
Yeah, just fully. You know, I met Dan shortly before that in Australia, actually, before he moved here and got tattooed by him there. You
were one of the first people he told me tattooed.
Yeah.
A bunch of people.
Yeah.
Cool.
He was like, we immediately hit it off, you know, kindred spirits, and
totally
rad hanging with him in Australia. He worked in this cool shop, run by old bikers. It was rad, you know? I was just getting tattooed all the time then. So, then shortly after that, just burn out. Like I'd heard new music that they had written, and I wasn't really into it at the time, and I just couldn't imagine. I was playing another band already in California, and
what was that band?
It's called Some Girls.
Oh yeah, Some Girls. Yeah, it's on my list. I don't know that was happening before.
Yeah, they overlapped.
Okay.
So
they overlapped. Yeah,
and I had already moved.
2002, Some Girls, right?
Yeah. So I came home 2004. Probably it could have even been after that Australia and Japan tour. I came home, passed out from jet lag, woke up the next morning to landlord and police knocking on the door, evicting us. And I just was like, okay, and packed my stuff and flew to San Diego and moved there that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just straight to San Diego?
Yeah, well, that's where I was in a band.
Okay,
you know, and then just, so the band, Give the Ghost, American Nightmare still existed, but I had left town already. And then we did a couple more, I think that was it. We did some shows. Wasn't really into it. We were about to fly to Europe for like this whole tour. It was just like the 8th tour of the year or something like that.
Wow.
And then just like, I'm not going, you know.
I'm done. I'm fried. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's important to even be able to say that and still keep your friendships and all that. Like, hey, my head's not in it. My heart's not in it. I don't want to fake it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like,
it's difficult. And
especially your friends. Like, yeah.
So I just went. And
then Some Girls, you start playing shows?
I did. I took some time off. I went. My parents were living outside of DC, and I went and just like hung out there for a summer. I was I just was so fried,
Yeah.
from tour and just like trying to regroup and figure out what to do. Eventually went back to San Diego and wanted to do that band, and never really like did it for me,
Yeah, there was a gap between you guys starting and putting out the first record though, right? Heaven's Pregnant Teens. That was like 2006.
Yeah, we'd done some 7-inches.
Yeah.
And then
you do a lot of 7-inches, man. I noticed that about all your bands you're in and EPs.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
I like it. I like 45s,
Yeah.
It's cool.
And then I don't know if you want to talk. I mean, I just did crazy deep dive, but like I didn't realize, if you can't talk about it, you probably might talk about it, but I didn't realize that you had wrote some songs and then somehow Fall Out Boy had used some of the riffs or something like that. I mean, that it all got worked out. You got credit for a couple different things, and they credited you, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was weird how it went down. That's like,
have we talked about that before on a podcast?
Like a little bit. It's
I
like
don't know if you can't talk about it.
It's like I mean, there was definitely a signed thing that says don't
okay.
talk
Well,
about
anyway,
this.
it's on the internet. You can look it up, people.
Yeah.
But you got credit for some riffs or something that they end up having, and
yeah,
it happens. It happened to a bunch of bands. I know. And they
yeah,
get credit for it.
I didn't.
Were you friends with them at the time or not?
No.
Okay.
No. I didn't know them at all. I mean, I guess in retrospect, I remembered a couple of them from like being at Chicago shows, but
yeah.
But no, I didn't have to work for a long
It's
time.
definitely oh shit.
Yeah.
It's definitely flattering that happens as long as you're credited, or if it's a misunderstanding, whatever it was. But at least you got the credit. That's great. That's happened to several of my friends and several bands that people listening heard of. That's happened. Oh, okay, I'll give you money, or I'll give you this credit, and it works out. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Because you can get inspired by all kinds of things and use different. Not everything's original, and people get inspired by. But sometimes when it's a blatant, then they pay the piper.
Yeah.
So you were chilling after that. That's cool. That's cool. All right, we're gonna keep going. That's good. I mean, I didn't know. That's really fucking. It's a crazy world, man.
I'll tell you about it off the record.
Yeah. I can take it off the pod if you want, but I don't know if you want to talk about it. But it's on the internet, guys, so you can Google that. All right, so Cold Cave. That's 2007.
Yeah. So I left San Diego, moved to Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to school. It was one of those weird tour traps. When you're on tour, you have a good time in these towns, and you move there, and it's like there's nothing happening.
I know when you visit places. Yeah.
So that happened to me. But there was a school I was going to go to. I got into it. I don't know why. My parents were outside of DC, and just thought it might be good to be close to family.
Yeah.
Didn't like school. Lasted like 6 months there. I moved to Philly.
So what were you going to major in Virginia?
I was going to concentrate on writing. I was writing all the time. I thought I wanted some formatted discipline to write, and wasn't into it. Okay. Yeah.
How old were you then?
Oh God, 25 maybe, 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you thinking that music might not be it? You just want to focus on writing? That's why you did that? Try something different, or was that just part of helping the lyrics and everything else?
I think I was definitely open to the idea of just writing and not playing music at the time. Yeah.
You get so burnt on tour. People think it's like this amazing thing, which it is, but like the sacrifices, like for relationships, friendships, everything, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, to this day, I sleep in bed as if I'm sleeping on a van bench. I have like, I'm huddling a pillow as if my head's crooked against a wall. Damn. I just got
You guys been in the bus before on tour, though, right?
Yeah.
That's such a life changer.
Not American Nightmare, Cold Cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a life changer, though.
Oh yeah, it's a luxury. Yeah.
In the bunk and shit, that's that sleep, that deep sleep. It's when you get to graduate to that.
We do the thing with Cold Cave where we have like the bedroom bus, so it's just like my wife and our child in the back. So it's like you're in an apartment for a month. You have your own
back lounge, right, or something.
Your own shower, own bathroom.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's it's fun.
So Cold Cave, would you say the vibe of Cold Cave? He would say it's like New Order. Nitzareb, Morrissey vibe. Is that? I'm quoting somebody saying that.
Yeah, that's like basically right. I mean, I started it. I just decided I didn't want to be in a band, and I didn't want to have to like wait for someone else to write.
Anybody else? I like that.
Yeah, like because I didn't know how to make music, so I'd just wait for someone to give me a song and hope that I liked it. And sometimes I didn't like it, but I still had to sing to it, and I didn't really have much of a input on what the bands would sound like.
Yeah,
it was weird because when I was doing Some Girls, basically after AN had broke up, it was for sure not what I was listening to or what I probably would have made musically as the next band. It just happened to be a band I was in, and so I went with it. But Cold Cave, I just want it to be mine. I didn't want to share it. I didn't want to be reliant on anyone.
How'd that feel? It feels good, right?
It felt good. I just didn't care about anything because I was just like, I'm going to make this music. I'm concentrating on writing. I'm just going to do this for fun to fulfill something within me, just see if I could do it. And it just sort of blossomed into its own thing, you know?
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on starting a band. I was done, you know?
Yeah. Were people during that time, were people still asking about American Nightmare to like come do the show or do a reunion, do all this stuff with you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, yeah, we would get like, I'd get hit up, but it was just like, you know, we weren't really, the band, people from that band, we weren't really talking much at the time, you know, and it was just, yeah, it just wasn't where I was at.
But it seems like the American Nightmare fans followed you to your other projects.
They did. I think there was a deeper connection to this day with a lot of people who related to the band, you know, and we sort of aged together. And
I would say it's your lyrics and everything you talk about. You know, I think people relate to that, relate to you.
Yeah. Well, it basically
doesn't matter the sound; it's just the message. What you're talking about.
Exactly. The sound is almost irrelevant. It's the idea is still the same.
Yeah.
You know?
So Cold Cave, really, that's been going since 2007, right?
Yeah, about then. Yeah,
wow.
I just started putting out my own records, and I didn't put my name on them because there was a stigma then that if you're this guy from a hardcore band, you shouldn't be doing this rock band or electronic band or whatever because no matter what you did, it was going to be a hardcore band.
Dude,
like how many good sorry, I'm using the quote marks. How many good rock bands have we seen that get stuck only playing with hardcore bands because they can never break out of like their initial genre?
I agree, dude.
Right? And it's just like unfair. Like we've seen so many good bands that should have just been like loved by the world, and they're stuck playing.
I know.
With like, you know,
it's crazy how hardcore is supposed to be the most open-minded thing, but it could be the most closed-minded thing.
Well, I find it almost, it's weird because it's almost like it's more closed-minded by the outside world, because like if you're in hardcore, like you like tons of different sounding bands.
Totally.
But it's the outside world who doesn't want to doesn't give you that pass to come into it. So when I started making Cold Cave, I didn't put my name on it.
Okay.
Just no credits, just I sold them to people who already knew who I was. I had non-hardcore labels released like the first 7 inches and 12 inches and just stayed out of the picture, you know?
Yeah.
And then once it caught on, I was like, yeah, this is my band. But I waited a while, you know, because I didn't want to be like in this like one man, like synth noise industrial band playing with like Bane or something, you know, it just wouldn't have made sense, you know?
You just made me think about how cool it was back in the day when Ian MacKaye did the songs with Ministry, the Palehead.
So
that
sick.
Was so sick. Nobody was doing shit back then like that.
That was incredible.
And that's coming from Ian to Ministry, like two opposite worlds. Like
the most opposite, yeah.
And that
but there's a common bond, you know?
There is, and I think that was amazing for back then because nobody was doing that. It's true, like you had like just like hardcore or just like this, but you can't bring other influences into your hardcore band if they're poppy or they're melodic or they're from some other genre. It has to be this. But then if you start a new band, you can, you know, express your other influences just in this section. But it's crazy now when I think about Turnstile and how they have pop, punk, everything combined, 311 vibes, and like all the different kids coming to their shows. It's so beautiful to me, man, because they're hardcore kids. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, and they have such, I went and saw them a couple weeks ago at 2,500 people at fucking the Novo, and it was like all diverse, different ages, skaters, punks, hip hop. It was so cool.
Right.
But for us growing up, it's like, that's almost like you have to like, just in the hardcore, if you want to do something else, you said it's hard to go into that world unless you totally like, don't even put your name on it in a sense, you know? It's like, there's a lot of people that have done that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
sometimes
you just have to start over at ground zero and, you know, just create a new life for yourself.
AFI, Black Audio, same type of thing in a sense.
Right.
Like a different project.
Yeah.
It's still him, but it's like a different sound. And I love that. I always like when people change it up and not just stick to one thing. Even hardcore bands who make the same record over and over again. I like when the band changes up, maybe add some more melody to it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to try, you know?
Yeah, because it's like, you want to please the fans or the people that love you and you follow you. But also you have to be happy too, first and foremost, to express yourself.
Yeah, and it's never, you know,
not fake it.
Yeah, it's never what it is when you try to recreate what you did the first time. It just doesn't happen. You can't. You know, there was something special about, if you're still existing years later, there was something special about that moment that made you first exist. It's hard to recreate that. You know, you can reference it, but then you're just a referential band, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird. But I understand why people try to do that too, you know, because you don't want to let down the people who care about you.
100%.
You know, it's also as you get older, you have livelihood wrapped in it, and you know, you have to just work, or quit, you know.
Yeah, because you couldn't make like an American Nightmare record that sounded like cocaine. People were like, what? You know what I mean? You couldn't call it that, or people, who know? Maybe now in this year, maybe, but back then for sure.
Now, yeah.
But definitely shout out to Palehead, dude. That's fucking incredible. I was just thinking about that. It's
like,
that was so out of left field. I was like, and I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, and you know, and growing up, I loved,
you must have loved that, the Palehead.
Yeah, I mean, but all those people involved with that were just so part of my youth. You know, I loved Ministry. I loved Minor Threat, Embrace, and you know.
Were you part of the youth? Were you a straight edge kid growing up?
Yeah,
awesome.
I have the tattoo. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What do you got? Some fists with X or something?
Some X's.
Sick.
Yeah.
So that was part of your life as a young age, or?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, all through high school, I didn't, you know, do anything like that.
That's awesome. And I mean, that's part of the hardest years too. That's the first time I ever felt peer pressure for not doing anything too, was the high school years. After that, you get in the real world, it's almost.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I don't know. And then you really find out who your friends are, who give a fuck about you, whether you going to the keg parties or not, or hanging out or not. You know, you find your.
I think I already.
Crew.
Yeah, and I think I felt I had so little in common with people that I was looking for even less in common. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's sort of my thing, is to retreat from what's going on. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just.
You've always been like that.
Yeah. Whenever I'm skeptical of the masses, no matter what it is, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a good cause or a bad cause. I'm just like, I'm out. You know. Yeah.
Was your sister involved in music? She was involved in music too, or no?
No.
Totally different.
No. She has good taste in music, but she's not a musician. She lives in Oregon, outside of Portland. She's a winemaker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's her life.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
But she's came and see you play probably? She's seen you play before?
She sees me play with every band all the time. You know, she's like ridden on tours before in Europe. She was living in Germany making wine when Some Girls was a band. She rode with us for a bit.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So Stuttgart, that's crazy. There's some good shows out in Stuttgart, man.
Yeah.
I remember it was military base. Now we've been talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, I'd often, lunch period of school, bail, walk off the base, walk like, you know, a mile or whatever, maybe 2 miles to the train station, ride it downtown, go record shopping, you know, CD shopping, yeah.
Was that a crazy culture shock moving there for you?
I moved there from... so I was in Virginia Beach, California. Then I moved to Florida, to Jacksonville.
Wow.
For like middle school.
Wow.
Then I was in Carlisle, Pennsylvania for 1 year, and then went to Germany from there. But you know, every move was equally shitty, basically.
It's
you know,
crazy. You moved like fucking over 10 times more than that. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I moved all the time. Yeah. And
damn, Jacksonville. Ooh.
I lived on the military base on the beach. So
okay, that's kind of cool.
I lived on the beach. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Skated, you know.
Yeah.
Surfed, skated, you know.
And so I just saw you guys have a show you announced too, a Placebo, right?
Yeah, Cold Cave plays
that's sick.
In September.
At the Greek, September 10th. That's awesome, man. Is that the first show in a while for you guys? You guys played during this?
We did. In September and August, we played the Wiltern and Webster Hall, and that was it. And then I have some festivals in May. It's called Cruel World Fest. You know, it's like Bauhaus and Morrissey and Blondie.
You playing with them?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah, and then I think the day before that, it's Cold Cave and Devo in Las Vegas for this Tony Hawk show he's doing.
Have you played with Bauhaus before?
Never.
That must be a dream, man.
Yeah.
My wife loves them. That's amazing. And Morrissey too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, the coolest thing about being in Cold Cave for me is getting to play with all these people who have just been, I've listened to my entire life.
Yeah.
You know, and like just to be like picked by these artists to play with, it's just like the most rewarding thing. You know, in punk and hardcore, it's the same way. Like when you're growing up listening to people and you end up meeting them, and a lot of times they're radical people, and you know, it's, you know, but then to have it, to still be getting that gift through life of being able to meet like your heroes, essentially, man. It's cool.
I know. I met, There's some I met that I'm happy I met, some I wish I never met. You want to stay a fan?
For sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Morrissey would be interesting for you to meet in Bauhaus. That's fucking...
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
Yeah,
I saw Morrissey. He was at the Rancid show a couple years ago. I was like, oh shit! Like, he goes to shows solo too.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, he's down.
I heard he was at a Business Agnostic Front show once out here too.
For sure. Yeah.
So do you and your wife, you guys own a bookstore?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called The Daily Planet. So it's on Franklin Avenue in Hollywood.
Okay.
Right across, there's a coffee shop next door called the Bourgeois Pig, and across from it is the Celebrity Scientology Center.
Okay.
So it's a wild corner, you know. But she, it's been there since '93. She started working there as like a part-time job, and when she was at UCLA in like early 2000s, and then like 12 or 13 years ago, bought it from the owner. He wanted to sell it, and she took it over, and
it's awesome.
It's rad, you know. I had a bookstore in Philly for a minute too, so it was I took over some stores, friends like pop-up lease, so I had it for like 9 months. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's just, actually when I moved to LA, I unloaded a bunch of my books at this like used bookstore. It's on the same block as our new bookstore.
Okay.
And when I met my now partner, when I went to her apartment for the first time, she had a bunch of my books.
Oh wow.
On her shelf that she picked up from the store.
That's fun. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's in the band too?
She's in the band too, and she's my partner, yeah.
And what does she play in the band?
She plays synth, bass, guitar, sings.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And the whole fam goes on tour.
Whole fam goes on tour.
Wow. And are you at the bookstore too? Are you there that much or no?
I go, I help out in the back because we do all our mail order from there.
Yeah.
So, I put out my own records and all my books myself. So I don't have any middle people.
So you have your own label?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Heartworm Press.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't have middle people in my life. I don't
super
have
DIY.
Super DIY.
I love that, man.
We sent out like I've sent out in the last year and a half 20,000 packages.
Holy shit.
Just from this tiny office,
Damn. I love that, man.
It's my job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the merch out of my house. I pack it, ship it, go to the post. I love it, man. I don't know.
I love it too. I mean, my first job ever in life was 9th grade on the base in Germany. I got hired. If you were a kid, you could work a summer job on the base. So I got put in the mailroom.
Okay.
The post office, right? So I'm just sitting there with headphones on, throwing mail in boxes. I'm still doing it to this day,
Yeah.
I like it. I liked it. You just put music on, get lost in it. I like seeing the same people ordering stuff for the past like 10, 12 years. It's cool,
Yeah.
I like it.
I worked at Roadrunner in the mailroom too for a while. It was pretty cool.
It's something cathartic about it, I like manual label. I like being working class. I like doing stuff,
Yeah.
So
I like it. And then do you answer like the 24-hour online support? People have complaints or emails. Do you answer those too? I do that shit all day.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I kind of try to. I get too angry, so I try to. I have other people help with that.
Okay,
but
because they'll just DM me. They know I make it and I design, I sell it. So hey, where's my stuff? And then I did an email the other day because I had a bobblehead that's been like 4 months. Everything's backed up in China, so I sent out all these emails from me directly. Hey, sorry. And everybody totally understands the pandemic slowed things down.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I kept getting those like updates for the Discord 7-inch box, and I was just felt so. I can't imagine the emails these people are.
Oh, that's right. It took a year or something almost.
2, I think.
Oh,
I think God. I ordered it like day 1 pandemic.
I see everybody posting it, but I heard he was.
It finally showed up, but like
they were sending emails. I heard letting people know and stuff.
Yeah, but when you get those emails, you're just like, fuck, I bet these people are getting so many emails to have to send this email,
Wow.
And like, for what I do, it's there's different crowds ordering it. So it's like American Nightmare people are like the rudest, most aggressive, like, and then Cold Cave people are like ultimately very kind, and the book people are just weirdo kind. Like it's cool, But if it's
hardcore kids have no patience.
No.
But I remember back in the day ordering shit from Maximum Rock Road. It took like a month. That was pre-internet though.
Yeah, I mean, I first started ordering stuff when I was living in Germany, so it was just like, dude, who knows? I used to order stuff all the time, and never even showed up, and it's just like whatever.
Yeah, and people listening too, like over the past year or so, you can't ship to New Zealand or Australia for a second. It was shut down for a minute.
So I got fucked on that because you could, but it had to be like UPS or DHL or Express.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You're right.
So I had all these pre-orders for this Cold Cave record from Australia in New Zealand before it shut down. Right. Okay. So they paid whatever the normal price was, $20 or something.
Then you say, you owe me more money, right?
Dude, I just paid out of pocket.
That's nice of you, man.
Just $50, $60 every package, just gone,
See that? That's very nice of you, man.
Yeah, but that's what you can do. You can make these choices when you do your own label. I felt bad. These people are stuck here. There's nothing coming in. This person ordered this record 6 months ago. It's here. I'm not going to be like, give me $20 more.
Yeah, that's really awesome. You did that.
Yeah.
I had people send stuff back to me and they say, I don't care if you send it back for more money. They just wanted to have it, but That was pretty crazy, man.
It's weird. Yeah.
So it's good that you pretty much, you're your own boss. You do what you love. You make music. You and your partner, she's in the band, bookstore. It's awesome.
Yeah, in a way, I'm doing
exactly
awesome. What I want to do, you know?
Yeah.
And the best thing is not having to answer to anyone.
That's what I love it too. Like, I just do this podcast by myself, upload it to my friend. I do my merch. I stay in my lane. I love it. I'm very lucky to do that. And then go play shows. Now we can pick and choose when we go on tour or different festivals. For a second, that's all we did. 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
You know? And
like, now you get to do what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
And then, I think that's like sort of the glorious, beautiful thing about growing up in punk and hardcore is that you know that it's possible to create a life for yourself, you know?
Totally.
And then...
And make records and all that stuff.
Yeah, and still do what you wanted to do.
When you watch all those Discord things about Ian and those guys putting the stuff together for the 7 inches, gluing them, doing all that stuff. And like, if they did it and still do it, and I love everything that they put out, then like, it's totally possible. That is beautiful about punk for sure, man.
It is, because
to count anybody.
I get to see, being in Cold Cave, you know, we often end up touring with these people in these bands who don't have that background. Yeah. And it's just like, oh my God, everyone's such a bitch, you know, like, and just like concerned with the wrong stuff and like
worried about sound scan and all these different
and just
things.
Like, you guys, like, it just doesn't, it's not real, you know, it's not real. It's not real.
Remember sound scan and all that shit back then?
That was,
First week sales.
I remember, people like forging numbers at shows, having like the janitor of the club sign off on it, you know, you know, damn, what a racket.
That was like such an extra stress, all that, worry about stupid shit like that.
And for what, you know, it's like, it's funny because I remember people doing that and it's just like, ultimately none of that mattered and everyone sort of ends up at the same place. If you're still like playing in a band, you all kind of end up in the same place anyway. Yeah. You know, it's just, it's funny, you know.
Were you guys on Independence your whole RB band?
Yeah, basically. I know the last American Nightmare record was through like Rise, BMG. But it was a one-off, and you know, we had talked to different independents about doing it, but basically decided we would just go with the label that gave us the most money. Because it was all a fucking scam anyway.
It was, yeah. So, yeah. That's pretty sick to most independents, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Rise is like a subsidiary, as they call it, of a major.
Yeah.
It's like an imprint or something, so it's not officially
It's not, like, I didn't, you know, when you get the contract, it's just BMG, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Nobody cared, right? Remember back in the day, it was like what label you're on. Nobody even cared about the record, but if you're on a major label, you're a sell. Dude, we got much shit back then, bro.
So many martyrs for commercials and major labels, and it just doesn't matter now. You know, it's like so many poor musicians had to basically forfeit their careers due to negative feedback for something that doesn't even matter now. You know,
true.
You know,
remember when the message boards came in? They fucking ruined so many, dude. All that stuff.
It was bound to be ruined, I guess.
It's crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, people hate us for our major label record. Then now people, 20 years later, they ask us to play it, why we don't play it, or some of the songs, they love it. But back then it was cool to hate it. It's just such a different time, man.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. So, yeah, that was unheard of when you did that, you know?
Yeah, well, I saw that, like,
Sick of It All.
Sid was on a major for a second. Sick of It All, yeah. East West.
Yeah.
Orange 9, our friend, or Quicksand. Just, well, they were. It was that time, you know?
Yeah, it's funny because it's... people are being critical of it, but all the sort of like stalwarts of that world were, you know, all like the legendary bands that kind of succeeded in terms of having listeners around the world. They were, you know.
People got bummed we covered a Madonna song. I remember that. Like, you can't be a hardcore band listening to Madonna. I was like, dude, I fucking have a Madonna tattoo. I love Madonna.
Yeah.
Crazy. I love doing that. I don't know. And I always pride ourselves on playing with other bands, you know, that weren't just hardcore.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
Just because you can't preach to the converted all the time. And
yeah. I mean, it was cool. You guys made cool choices. I remember that you did cover Marginal Man, and that was rad. You know,
I love Marginal Man.
Yeah.
So you lived outside of DC area, so you probably loved all that stuff too.
I didn't really. So my parents moved there after Maine when I graduated high school, so I never lived there.
Okay.
You know, my dad still lives there. My mom's in Florida, but
did you love all the DC stuff though?
Oh, for sure.
Embrace.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Rites of Spring.
Is it safe to say that Embrace and Rites of Spring is the OG emo in a sense?
Definitely, yeah.
Because people say other bands. I know all those other bands later on were inspired by that, but that Embrace record is just, it's in my top, man. It's just a perfect album, man.
Yeah.
Lyrics, bro, everything.
Yeah, that and Rites of Spring are just like the greatest.
I got to see Rites of Spring and Embrace. Wow. Not together. One was with Beefeater and the other one was some other show. But yeah, I was very lucky for that.
Wow.
Did you like Scream and stuff like that? Those bands, Government Issue, or
I love GI.
GI.
Scream I didn't connect with until later in life.
Soulside? Remember that?
Same thing.
Swizz.
Yeah. Soulside, Girls Against Boys. Yeah. You know.
Oh, Girls Against Boys. That's right. Jawbox.
Yeah, I love Jawbox. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. What about New York hardcore stuff for you?
They're the greatest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you weren't officially from Boston, so you couldn't. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Like I got, when I was still living in Germany, I have had New York hardcore
We said
stuff.
Terry. Yeah.
Yeah. So was listening to like AF and Madball still before I moved to the States.
Nice.
And then I got to see.
You like the really hard shit too.
I did. Yeah.
The more like harder, tougher, like aggressive shit. Yeah.
I saw Madball shortly after moving back to the States.
Oh, you did?
In Portland, yeah.
So that was like in the 90s something maybe?
95, 96.
Damn, that was an ill time.
Yeah, it was like right before Demonstrating My Style came out.
Fuck.
I have a picture of me on stage actually with Freddie.
I need to see that.
I'm like 16 in it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That was just a different time. Just fucking, man.
I loved it. It was just, I remember.
I like the scary vibes back then, the energy and the something about that time about
it was just exciting, and then I think the dynamic of it being so terrifying, but then like the people being so cool.
Yeah,
it was just like, what is this strange world? And like it was the first time I felt a kinship with other people, and everyone was just from a different place in the world, but like equally they're fucked up for a similar reason. And it was just, those became my friends, and that was my scene. And I felt there was no one there from my high school. I was going all these things by myself, but these are the people you end up staying in touch with. And then, it's like once you're in high school and you get into this, everything becomes irrelevant in this little world because it's like you guys are talking about the prom. I was in DC for the weekend seeing this band. It's like it's like it's a joke, and I needed that sort of life to become a joke to feel better.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful thing. Hardcore, like as much as it has people say so many negative things about it, or the violence or this and that, but it really saved a lot of people's lives and brought so many people together. And it's still so special. As much as people say hardcore is big and it's huge and all that stuff, it's still a very underground place, I feel like. At least in our hearts, maybe. I don't know. Back then, it was just so... It was to escape your home life and everything, that you go to this place. It looked so scary. It looked so violent, but everybody looked out for each other. Yeah, there was some violence. Yeah, there was some crazy people, but it was just... I don't know.
It's... I'm not...
Much a dysfunctional kind of family. And stuff.
Yeah, and in a way, it still feels very small. Like, I know, like, I don't go to shows often. I just kind of go see bands, the few bands that I love.
Yeah.
But when I'm playing American Nightmare shows and I look out into the crowd, I feel like I recognize 50 or 60% of the room.
Yeah.
No matter where I am. So it does feel small in that regard,
Yeah.
It's weird like that. And then, also because it is a type of music and it is a scene, so therefore it's going to be fleeting. People come and go, but you sort of end up meeting every single person who sticks around.
Yeah,
because it thins, and then there's people still around, and then
there's different waves of it too.
Yeah,
and there's not even like a real, like at this point, there's really not like a real particular sound for hardcore. It's changed so much over so many years.
Yeah, right.
Harder,
Constant
softer, more
flux.
melodic, metaler, all that stuff. It's just the mentality, you know what I mean? I feel like we're big hardcore kids in a sense inside, you know what I mean? All the stuff, the values and the morals that we got from that, and just how we live our lives, you know what I mean? It's not a look at all. It's just how we really.
And like, Cold Cave's not a hardcore band, but I run it like I'm doing a punk label, you know? It's like, and that's what works for me. And I've tried working with labels that don't come from that background, and it just feels off. It feels strange, Yeah,
because it's crazy. Like, we've had managers and booking agents and different labels, but nobody gets it done better than you get it, because you're the most passionate about it, and this is your life. You put everything into it. So, like, having that control, not being a control freak, but only people really going to get things done is you for your own stuff. For sure. And having that control and running shit, it feels good. And if someone's going to burn it to the ground and ruin it, like, I want to do it, I don't need someone else to do it. I can do that. No, for sure. Do you have any major regrets in your life? It's always a tricky question. Some people say no. They lived through all their experiences and that made them who they are today, stuff like that, but nothing really for you. You don't seem like a person that has a lot of regrets. I don't think so. I sort of I'm good, I'm good. I keep moving, because I grew up moving all the time. I'm always moving, and I'm always looking forward.
maybe if I had a regret, it would be I don't appreciate the present as much as I should. You know, I wish I was more.
I like that.
I wish I was more present. You know, I'm more. I'm always living a year or 2 years ahead. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I love that.
And then
nobody's ever said that. It's cool.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
I think that comes with age. I'm hoping I get it sometime, you know? There's things that I would like to devote more time to, like for example, you know, we live in this little cottage up Beechwood, and we have this little house, and I have a beautiful garden that my wife tends to. I can look at it, appreciate the beauty, but I don't have the patience to help, you know? And there's things like that. I would like to be more present and be able to sort of concentrate on one thing. I can do it with writing, but it comes in waves, you know? And there's other times I'm just a manic psychopath and I can't concentrate at all. I'm just, you know, and I think like not having tour, like, you know, when you're in a full-time touring band, it's like, you don't have time to be in the present, because you're just like, I'm getting ready for the tour. It's in 3 months. It's in 1 month, you know, and then like there's one after that. And like,
that's true, man.
I don't care about this tour I'm about to go on, because there's another one after it. And it's just like, I want to stop and smell the roses. I want to. But
now we had to stop for 2 years. So does that change for you? Like the COVID changed?
It's like, unfortunately, in a way it did, but I feel like I'm coming to that as the world's coming back. You know, it took me 2 years to recognize that I've been just so manic, and then I need to. It's now that the world's coming back, I'm retreating. Like during COVID shutdown, like I refused to be shut down. I was out every day, running around, running errands, going to the stores. I didn't care, you know. But now that it's shut down, now that it's not shut down, I'm shutting down.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, you know, I lost a close friend last week, and I think I regret.
Sorry about that.
Thanks.
I saw you that day, actually. Yeah.
I saw you that day, and I wasn't. That was a bizarre. It was nice to see you that day, actually, because it was cool to be around cool people. I was getting ready to go. I got out of the shower, just a text from Randy, and he said, sorry about Mark Lanigan's passing. I was like, what? Like, I just talked to this, what? Like, you know, anyway, Mark Morton, who plays guitar for Lamb of God, he played guitar in some of my friend Mark's last record. Oh, wow. So I was actually thinking about him. It would be nice to meet this person. You know, him and my friend made this great music together, and that's how I met him. Was on
that
this
day, right?
Day, which was actually nice to be around music that day, and people who had worked with my friend. And I regret not. I went to Ireland this week to. I
was gonna ask you about that.
Help out with. You know, just to pay my respects and to help out, because, you know, it was so far away and there wasn't a lot of friends who could get there. Cause
that's where the funeral was?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So I went there for that. And then it's crazy because I woke up one morning, bought a flight, went to the airport that day, and I hadn't planned on going. And then I get there.
Oh, soon after I saw you, like not that couple of days ago?
Yeah, so I wasn't sure.
Okay.
It was kind of it was the Sunday. I think I saw you on a Thursday or Friday or something. And then, Sunday I woke up, talked to someone over there, and then bought a ticket and went straight to LAX and ended up in Ireland the next day.
Wow.
And, you know, I got there and I see my friend, and I had regret for not, I was able to get here in a day, but it took someone passing to do it. Whereas like, you know, we've been talking about me maybe coming there like for a few months ago. And it's just like, I was like, well, maybe this time. And
got you.
It's like, you know, when something tragic happens, you just show up and you get it done. Yeah. It's like, I hate that I needed that,
to make that happen. Yeah.
You know, so that's
a
recent regret, I guess, you know, but
fuck.
That's life.
Yeah.
You know?
So being home for like, you said you're going out all the time, but it's crazy when you get to be home with your partner or your wife after traveling so much, and then you get like just that home life, especially your kids 6 and just being there and being like in the mix, and not like all of a sudden everything you've done just stops and you don't know when it's going to happen again. That was really tripped out for a second.
I was on tour when it happened too.
Okay.
So American Nightmare was on tour. Our last show we got through the tour, except for our last show was March 15th at the Fonda. And it was the first show the Fonda canceled, and we were like 2 days away from doing it. We had done like it got dark like that week leading up to that. You know, we just started seeing the shows just like fall off, like Seattle, San Francisco. Like it started getting weird, you know. And So I'm like on tour. I've been like fucking getting ready for the tour, like working out every day, like running like maniac. And then I have all this pent up energy that just sort of like devolves into nothing, you know?
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. So it took me a while to calm down.
Yeah. From that.
First thing that happened in that was another friend of mine, who was another mentor of sorts. This person, Genesis Pure, passed away.
Jesus.
Shortly after, like days after being home.
Wow.
So I was dealing with that. I was just with them in February when I was in New York on that same tour. That was out of the blue. Put some books together, stayed busy as I could, you know, and you know, I don't know, still doing it now.
Yeah.
You know.
Is training do you train a lot? Do you run a lot and work out?
I do.
Is it like a daily thing for you?
Usually, yeah. I have to focus somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
And otherwise, my mood rises and falls a lot. I don't take medicine for it. I've been told several times from people I should. I generally find that if I do that in the morning, I'm typically a better person.
Yeah, just running, you mean, right, too?
Yeah, running.
How far do you run usually? I'm going to get back into it. I still love running, dude. Just so good for the whole body.
Not that much. It's more like I'll just like sprint for a mile.
Sick. That's
you
good
know,
for you too.
something like that. And then I'll ride the bike, and you know, I'm inside doing it. So it's, you know, yeah. I mean, over the last 2 years, I haven't.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's definitely balance too.
You need it. I just, you know.
Do you feel like diet and exercise and everything, you really don't need to be on medication for certain things? Not saying you're a doctor, but it's about your diet also and exercise. It helps. I
think it's a big part of it.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if
people don't talk about so much. It's like
there's probably things it doesn't touch, but generally speaking, it's for sure. It's
for you personally.
For me personally, it's a huge help. You know,
Were you on stuff for a while to try to balance everything, or never?
No, I mean, a couple times I tried things and then bailed after a week. You know, so I'm not into this. It makes me feel like
crazy side effect, all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
right?
and everyone's just wait, it'll be better. And I don't have the patience to wait. You know, I don't. You know.
Yeah.
Which is like why you're on it to begin with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, the exercise, the diet, all that shit, mental, physical, I think that all balances, man.
Yeah, and just, you know, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
No one else is going to, you know.
It's going to be interesting to go back on tour and like play more than fucking one show here and there and get your cardio back up, your stage, just all that stuff that you didn't realize that you didn't even have. When you're on tour, you just stay in this shape, you know, and then we have to go back on tour after 2 years. It's going to be crazy. We have like 22 shows in a row this summer in Europe, man.
Wow. Yeah, that's heavy. Oh,
man. Like, I'm excited. But I'm like, is it? But and then also from the pandemic, I'm like, I'm not going to stress about shit I have no control over anymore. It does not help me. So, yeah, I see a tour in July. I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to do my pod, stay in my lane. If it happens, amazing. When I buy those flights, amazing. But I can't count on shit like that anymore, you know?
Unfortunately, no. But, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. It's just you get the insurance. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. You know?
I know, but I just miss. I think that my friend Derek's on tour, separate tour right now, and I saw footage of them playing their first shows in 2 years, and he said he felt like a brand new, just walking on stage and playing. Like we're missing something from us, even if we don't feel it.
It's what we do.
I know.
You know,
there's something inside that's like fucking. I love my family. I love being home. I love being able to do what I love, but that's just something that I need.
Yeah, I need it too.
You know what I mean? It fulfills us. It sounds cheesy, but it's like...
Yeah, and I don't think it's narcissistic either. I think it's it's what we do. It's a release. It's like, you know, you need...
It's therapeutic. We've been talking about
it's a one way we communicate.
I know.
You know?
And this getting shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, and it was crazy. Well, I forgot the word they were using during the pandemic. Like, what's the word they were using? Like, this is important. These have to continue to stay open because they're important. The word
essential.
I feel like music was essential. Music saves lives and helps people.
Yeah, that was.
I'm not saying we shouldn't went to live shows during the pandemic, but like music was at the bottom of the totem pole the whole time.
It's another,
I was like,
another
not
scam.
being selfish. Like, what about the musicians? Like, they go out there and it helps so many people. Now he's gonna write a note how he wants to borrow my credit card right now. Go to the store. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it was the first to get cut off, last to open. Of course, you know.
Yeah,
that's what we get.
It was scary, man. Like, it just like.
And then like, you know, everything's just so like, I know it's a severe thing, but it's just like, so like all of a sudden it's just gone, you know, it's just like,
as of last week,
like there's a fucking world war and like the COVID's gone. Like no one's mentioned, like I watch every news station for a minute. I do that.
Are you obsessed with the news?
Yeah. I go through bad phases, you know, and then, but all of a sudden it's just gone. You
Yeah.
know, and it's like no one's even not even like, yeah, this shit is happening over there. Also, this is like what's going on with this now. It's just gone. That doesn't happen.
In like 2 seconds.
Just gone.
I know, man. And the CDC came out 2 weeks ago. I don't want to get into the politics shit, but
Yeah.
the CDC came out and they said, you don't have to wear a mask anymore unless you want to. Whatever makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
After 2 years, it's just fucking
gone. Yeah.
I mean, I'm stoked it's gone.
For
like,
sure.
The war sucks
Yeah.
and all that shit. It's just one thing. It's just...
Yeah, it's like, what's next, you know?
So you were heavily watching the news during the whole 2 years? Or is that something you...
Yeah.
Because that probably fucks with you, too.
It fucks with you, yeah. Well, it was weird, too, because, you know, I had to monitor our store. You know, it's like all of a sudden I'm like a bouncer again.
Yeah.
You know, and
so...
so...
I got that baseball bat.
I had a hammer this time.
Damn.
Yeah, and I had to bounce someone with it.
Wow.
As someone tried to rob me.
Holy shit.
And I showed them the hammer, and it didn't work.
Wow, dude.
You know, and all of a sudden I'm 42. All of a sudden, acting like I'm 18, putting a hammer to someone's head. You know, just to keep what's mine. And then, but it was just, you know, Hollywood sort of exploded into like not like for no political like revolutionary reason, just like people taking advantage of the situation.
Sure.
And all of a sudden there's just like junkies coming in trying to take your stuff, you know, and it was just like not having it, you know.
Wow,
no way.
dude.
So that was like, I don't consider that me going back to work, but basically when stuff opened, I was at the store managing it because it was too sketchy, you know.
Wow, man.
You know, I was moving bookshelves in the night, putting them in front of windows getting broken, you know.
Wow, man.
It's just what it was.
Wasn't it scary about like almost losing your spot during the thing too? Like, was there thoughts of losing your bookstore during the pandemic?
For sure.
For sure, yeah.
For sure. And
not just to violence, whatever, just in general, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, it was, you know, everything you work for, it's, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, we work for it out of love. You know, it's not,
totally.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't want to lose what you love.
This is an interesting question. I'm so curious about this answer. You consider yourself an optimist or pessimist?
I'm in the middle, you know?
Yeah. Are you a realist?
I'm a realist.
That's what my wife is. She's a realist, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't really like locate myself in either circle, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, I prepare for the worst at all times. If something cool happens, I sort of take the good with a grain of salt and don't let it, like, I don't bathe in the glory of anything good. I just sort of like accept it and move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm saying. I would like to be more present. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like if I have a good show, I don't walk off stage being like, that was a great show. I'm just like, all right, what's
Are you
next?
harsh on yourself? Like a really harsh critic about your performance or your music or anything like that?
Perhaps, you know, like if I don't sing well enough to my liking, I'm upset. But like, I mostly get furious and like when like you can't hear yourself and like the sound sucks and just like, you know, you want to kill someone in the club and
Totally.
you know, because when it's out of your control, that's when I get furious, you know.
But the funny thing about that is like we're always so hard. I'm harsh on myself too, but the crowd doesn't. Most of the time, crowd doesn't see any of that shit. It's just all you on you.
Never.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you critique yourself and like, fuck, it's hard, man.
Yeah, it's like you want to do the best you can do.
Are you a perfectionist?
Yes and no. I am, so I spend a lot of time on some things, and other things I'll write something in a second and put it out. But I think over the years, you know, I used to just make songs left and right. It was no big deal. Mm-hmm. Now I just labor over them, and then other times I'll write one in a minute. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It all depends on your vibe that day or how you're feeling, right?
It's strictly vibrating because I don't, you know, I think I don't know how you are. A lot of singers, they write melodies in their head and they have like, and people build songs underneath them. I've never done that in my life. That's like a crazy notion to me. I don't know how people do it. So I have to make Cold Cave is more of a labored process for songwriting. I have to make the music first, hope that it attracts something in the lyrical side of me, and I hear something that I could sing on top of it.
Yeah.
Often I make music for that band and just doesn't really go anywhere because I'm not inspired enough. Whereas American Nightmare, it's weird. That stuff just falls out of me.
Yeah.
I could just, if someone was like, here's a studio time, be there on this day, I could come with nothing. I'll leave with the record. That's no big deal.
So you could write a whole album right now if they asked you to?
Yeah, easily.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how it's always been with that band. Like I always went in with nothing. Band would lay down the song. I'd take a tape or CDR to the car, put it in, write real quick, go do vocals, and just do them one by one by one, you know?
It's awesome.
But I don't know how to write vocals.
Yeah.
Like that's not where I'm coming from.
Me either. I would just write my brother would be like, write down what you want to sing about, write a topic, and I write down all these things about it, and then we make it into a structured
Fit it,
song.
yeah.
And then they would have the songs and the riffs. So my brother was really good with melodies,
Right.
and Rusty too, the harmonies and stuff. So they would have these.
Like this would be, right.
Yeah, so I would just write the lyrics too, but I can't write harmonies. I'm just writing what I want to sing about, and then they help me organize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't write the melodies either, and like I can't just hear a riff and go, oh, that could be this song. They'll give me a full song of like a demo, and then I can do that. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Some people can just do that. Like Chad from Newfound Glory, he produced a bunch of records. He's got a crazy ear for melodies,
right?
And just all that, dude. And he just like try this, dude. I hear this, like really awesome with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like
some people have it.
Yeah, I go about it backwards. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Once it clicks within the song, then I'm good. But it just finding that moment for it to click.
Yeah,
it takes me a while. You know.
Yeah. Do you have any like top 5 inspirations or any kind of inspirations? It could be authors or anything that major influences in your life that stuck with you. Maybe not stuck with, but as an early age and it continued. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always sort of been just building towards. Always, you know. I remember like my first records were like The Doors and The Cure and stuff like that, and that's stuff that I never like abandoned. That it's always been with me, you know. And which was sort of like I always liked, for whatever reason, the darker side of pop music.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. And then
the darker side of hardcore too, probably in a sense, darker shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, there was something that I could relate to that was more realistic about it. You know, I don't know. That's how I felt. So
yeah,
it wasn't like.
Did you like 7 Seconds or stuff like that? Or
I did. You know, it was funny because I told
Kevin.
No, but Joe Nelson when he did the.
Oh yeah, the re-release.
The re-release.
Cure. I mean that Crew record.
The Crew. Yeah, I had in like 7th grade. Maybe 7th grade. I had a dub cassette of The Crew.
Oh wow!
But it had no writing on it. So for years, I knew this record by heart and didn't know what it was.
Wow, who it was?
Yeah, it wasn't until like 10th, 11th grade that I found it was 7 Seconds The Crew. But I knew every song on it, you know.
That's fucking awesome.
But I loved it. It was just, but there's something like, you know, that first song on that record. There's something. Yeah. I mean, I'm still obsessed with the 80s to this day. That song is like, it just sort of. I don't know. It just envelopes everything perfect about how I remember growing up.
Yeah. Do you listen to a lot of old stuff still like that?
Yeah. It's just sort of my go-to. I never like got over the stuff that blew my mind when I was a kid, you know?
Yeah. I get to listen to Minor Threat or like we said earlier, the Verbal Assault trial record over and over again. It's just perfect. And
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to just drive around with that. It was like one of my 4 tapes in the car. I was stuck in there, trial. Yeah.
It just brings you back and it has, I don't know, it's just the memories, you know what I mean? Of that time and just.
It's formative.
I know, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, Verbal Assault for sure, underrated. We was talking about them now. They're playing tomorrow in Rhode Island, first time in 30 years.
Yeah,
so.
I found out about Verbal Assault from being into Belly, actually.
Oh yeah, because he tour managed them or something. He's in the band?
The guitarist were they, yeah.
Okay, came in yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know. I mean, I went backwards. That's what's weird. Like even with like the first shows I went to, I ended up going backwards.
Yeah.
And then you find out everyone's post-hardcore about that, you know? There's no one who's not, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, he wasn't Billy. That's right.
Yeah.
But I think Chris Jones, one of those guys at Verbal Assault, also came and tour managed them as well. One guy was in the band, and the guy came with him.
Right.
That's right, Billy. That's right.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big band too.
Yeah. Yeah, they did good. I mean, I went to see him a couple years ago, even, you know, here, and I like, you know, I got into them from knowing about their other band, Throwing Muses. You know.
Oh, Throwing Muses. That's right.
Oh, Providence. I mean, Newport. You know.
That's right.
Yeah. Newport's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We like lived there almost the same time.
Yeah.
You said 85 maybe?
84.
Yeah, I was 85. There in 84. Yeah. I was 14.
Yeah. I was probably like, I was 5, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just left at 85 and went to freaking Southern Maryland. But yeah, that's so cool. Yeah. Newport was sick. I lived there during the America's Cup races. And we used to skate these banks on Thames Street. And there weren't chains around, but we used to always skate this area. And there was all kinds of tourists there. And we were all skating one day, me and the Verbal Assault guys, and somebody's skateboard shot out, hit some lady, broke her ankle. So they tried to ban skateboarding during the America's Cup.
Yeah.
So me, all the Verbal Assault guys, Vicious Circle, Positive Outlook, the whole scene went to City Hall. We petitioned, and we got it changed.
Yeah, it was a freak accident, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know what was happening, and I was going down to the liquor store to get my mom cigarettes, and a cop car pulled up, and they asked me to come and get inside, and I was like, fucking, 13 or 14, and they fucking arrested me. There was no cell phones, and when I got to the police station, Chris Jones was there, all the guys were there, all the boards were there.
Right.
They were just scooping up everybody on skateboards that day.
That's wild, yeah.
But we fought it, and we fucking got the law changed.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because there was so much shit going on during that time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
First beach, second beach, third beach, all that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, my mother was living in Newport, sorry. I keep confusing them. Like 5-6 years ago. No, more like
really?
10 years ago.
Okay.
And I was going there, and it was one of the few places I was like, I think I could live here.
Still.
I think I could.
Is it quieter in the winter probably too? Because it's such a beach town.
That's when I like it.
You like it,
yeah,
right?
I like cold beaches in the winter. Like,
so you could live in the winter again?
I could, if I had like a cool, small, no neighbor beach house in the middle of nowhere on a beach in the winter, I'd be into it.
Do you miss the East Coast?
Yeah, when I go back, I miss it, and then when I get back here, I don't miss it.
I know. When I go out there when I see snow for a couple of days, I'm like, I miss that shit. And then you're out there like, dude, get me the fuck back to California, man.
Yeah, I romanticized Boston because it was just such a big part of my life, and walking around the city and just headphones on and just like no cares in the world, and like go see a show.
It's not like that no more. I know.
No, I go down now. I just go there and I'm just like,
where's all my spots?
They don't exist.
Same with New York, dude.
Yeah.
Everything changes. So we got to be. I think the times that we lived out there was a fucking beautiful time. It's because it was our time, what we were doing, and how the scenes were back then. But yeah, it's never going to be like that, and everything changes. It's like I would love to go back to the old New York, but
it's not there.
It's not there, dude. Yeah. It's so different. Everything's just. It's wild, man.
Yeah, I mean, I moved here from New York 10 years ago, and when I was there, it was just like, it wasn't like a thing. I felt it was just like and it's easy for people to say, I'm sure there's someone there having the time of their life right now, and that's cool.
Totally,
but,
their time, yeah.
But it's like, for me, it was just sort of like I felt a bit left over, and like I had missed it,
Yeah.
So that was like 2007 to 10 or 11 or something like that, and
I was here recently. It was all young kids, and he loved it because he was 19. But I felt so old in the city, man.
Right.
It's like the new generation of kids, and just different time.
Yeah.
California's the best. I never thought I'd live out here, man. Me
neither. I can't imagine. I mean, I could live somewhere random in Europe, maybe, but not anywhere else in the States. I don't think.
Do you love it here?
As much as I could love anywhere, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a love.
I'm like, we're building roots. I have roots here now. Like, we're building a house here.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stay. Like during the pandemic, we bought a piece of land.
Oh man, congrats! That's awesome.
Like kind of in our neighborhood, and
nice.
We're just it's a couple year process, but
so you're building a house there now.
Yeah,
it's nice over there. It's cool. It's quiet.
Yeah, and we can walk to the bookstore from there. It's quiet. Yeah. From 4 to 8 a.m. it's quiet.
Oh, so what's next for you? So that show. What's your next show? Is like what's on the horizon for you?
I have shows and festivals in May. I'm playing with bands that I love and grew up listening to.
Yeah, Cure, Bauhaus, it's crazy, dude.
And then, I have American Nightmares playing that Furnace Festival.
Oh, you are?
In September, I think.
Oh, that's sick, okay.
Yeah, and then...
that's cool.
Coke plays with Placebo that same month.
Yeah.
We
mentioned it earlier at the Greek Theater, September 10th.
Yeah, so
awesome.
Switching personas that month a couple times.
So it's different vibe, different energy, everything, right?
In a way, yeah.
That's crazy. I just thought about that.
Yeah, it's weird.
You go off in American Nightmare, like you're all over the place.
It's physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas Coke is much more controlled.
And more mellow, more chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's two different vibes, man.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, I never thought I'd be an adult doing American Nightmare. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't think something would come back in my life or that I would desire to do, and then it just did,
Are we really adults or are we just big kids in a sense?
Yeah. I think I'm an adult.
Okay, I'm an adult. We're adult because we have kids, we have properties, we pay mortgages.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like
I
feel like a kid, and I also feel like an adult. I'm again, like I can't pick one. I don't feel comfortable in either.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be this.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to subscribe to something.
Do you feel like you're in a good place in your life now?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's I'm pretty isolated.
Yeah.
By choice. And I think it's a good thing. I'm concentrating on working. And by working, I mean like making music and writing.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I want to do. I don't like to go out much. I don't, you know.
Yeah. Will you ghostwrite for people? Do stuff like that?
No.
Okay.
No. I've been asked before. I have in the past, but that's like going back 15 years or something.
What about soundtracks and stuff like that?
Sometimes get asked.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a whole different world too.
Yeah. It's a racket too.
It is.
You know,
man.
I just like, I like not having anyone tell me what to do.
I know, man.
It's too much a part of me. I just can't help it. I just don't like people telling me what to do.
You know what's crazy? People keep telling me I need to film this podcast, and they're coming at me from every person I know. I'm like, you know what? I like just talking in my kitchen on audio.
Yeah, it's like I get it.
I don't want to do that.
Or if you want to do it, you want to do it yourself. Like the thing now is like you're saying, people come out of nowhere and they're saying, do more work and pay me.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why would I do more work to pay you? Like that's the thing, man. It's like I don't even understand life anymore. It's just like, you know, you want me to do more work and pay you.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, I'm not signed to any record labels because
me either, actually. No, I'm not actually. Wow.
And it's crazy. And every now and then, you know, someone will approach us about doing something and we'll talk to them for a minute, but it's just like, I think you don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like once you bail from like that chain, it's like you couldn't pay me enough.
Yeah.
You can't, because it's
That's
like
true.
It's priceless to not have to answer to you.
I know, man.
And what you're offering me for like a record I just made last weekend.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's not like a.
I'm not saying we didn't work hard to where you're at in life, but be quiet, kid. We're just lucky we get to do what we love. It's amazing, man.
That's the goal.
It's so fucking cool,
yeah,
man.
and so I think if you're able to do what you love and find out new ways to bring in new love,
yeah,
you know, that's what all you can ask for.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this is great, man. I feel like I know you so well now, just hanging out for a fucking hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
man.
it's good to wrap.
Yeah, it was great to have you here, and I know we crossed paths many times throughout our lives, and I don't know, it's good to have you in my kitchen.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we eat at similar restaurants.
Yeah. We're in the same vegan Illuminati.
Yeah. Till death.
Oh, how long have you been vegan for, actually?
14, 15 years. I was vegetarian before that, and then, you know, yeah.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
Your family's like that too?
No.
Yeah. So I'm vegan, but my son, he's never had meat, but my wife and my son aren't vegan. They're vegetarians.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, and my family's all vegan. I thought you meant like my parents. And stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, we're all vegan. Like kids.
He goes back and forth, but he's never had meat and stuff.
Yeah, my kid never.
That's cool.
Yeah, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's from hardcore, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's from the Smiths, Youth of Today, Earth Crisis. You know.
I'm sorry, Max. Don't have to go, but that Meat Is Murder record, Smiths. That's so powerful back then when that came out, man.
What a crazy idea it was.
I know back then.
Yeah.
That was
crazy.
Like 80s, early 80s. I remember that. I lived at the Gorilla Biscuits house, and Walter Schreifels played that record. I was like, who is this? Never heard this before. He was so open-minded with the sugar cubes, all that stuff. He's always playing different music. But I was like, Meat Is Murder.
What a crazy notion to do that. Amazing.
I know.
It's beautiful.
And then Youth of Today, Gorilla Biscuits, forget about it, bro.
Well, there's a direct chain, you know? It's pretty cool.
Fuck.
You know?
That's
and
hardcore.
To this day. Exactly.
So that's something that instilled in us, and we instilled in our kids as being parents. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, and it just generational and keeps going. Yeah.
Fuck. I feel like I'm going to have a part 2 with you someday.
I'm down.
Okay. All right, Master. I know you want to take a photo. We have to go do modeling.
I have to go.
Why don't you talk about your neck tan?
No, bro.
Did you get the spray tan again?
No.
You got a spray tan yesterday. Sorry. Floppy spot.
Gotta do it sometimes. Yeah.
All right, Wes. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for being
Toby.
here.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
This is fucking awesome.
Right on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next one.